You probably eat eggs all the time, but there's one tiny mistake almost everyone makes that quietly ruins their taste, texture, and even how your body uses them. It's not about buying expensive eggs or fancy pans. It's something simple you might be doing every single morning without realizing it. Stick with me because once you see this, you'll never cook eggs the same way again. Eggs are one of the most common foods in American kitchens. They're quick, affordable, packed with protein, and easy to cook in a dozen different ways. Scrambled, fried, boiled, omelets. Most of us grew up eating them almost daily. But here's the thing, even though eggs seem simple, they're actually easy to mess up. One small habit can turn great eggs into rubbery, bland, or even harder to digest food. And the worst part is, people think that's just how eggs are supposed to taste. In this video, we're breaking down the most common egg mistake people make at home. We'll talk about why it happens, how it affects your eggs, and exactly what to do instead. No chef talk, no complicated science, just real kitchen advice you can use tomorrow morning. Let's start with how most people cook eggs. They grab a pan, turn the heat up high, add eggs, and try to cook them fast. The idea is simple: get breakfast done quickly and move on with the day. But this is where the trouble starts. Eggs are delicate. Their proteins change shape as they heat up, and when the heat is too high, those proteins tighten up too fast. That's when eggs turn dry, tough, or rubbery. If you've ever had scrambled eggs that squeak when you chew them, that's exactly what happened. High heat also pushes moisture out of the eggs. Instead of staying soft and creamy, the water evaporates, leaving behind dry curds. This is why restaurant eggs often taste better. They're cooked slower, with more control, not rushed. Another issue is timing. Many people wait too long to take eggs off the heat. Eggs keep cooking even after you turn the stove off. That extra minute in the hot pan can make the difference between fluffy and overcooked. The pan stays hot and the eggs keep firming up whether you want them to or not. Now let's talk about seasoning, because this is where opinions fly everywhere. Some people say you should never salt eggs before cooking. Others salt at the end. The truth is more practical than dramatic. Salting eggs early actually helps break down proteins slightly, which can make scrambled eggs more tender. Waiting too long can leave eggs tasting flat on the inside and salty on the outside. Another common mistake is over-stirring. When people scramble eggs, they often stir non-stop, like they're afraid to stop. Too much stirring breaks the eggs into tiny pieces and releases heat too quickly. That leads to dry eggs instead of soft folds. Gentle movement is usually all you need. Let's not forget about the pan itself. Using a pan that's too hot or not properly coated causes sticking. Then people scrape aggressively, tearing the eggs apart. A simple non-stick pan or well-seasoned skillet on medium or low heat changes everything. Oil and butter matter too. Many people use too little fat, thinking they're being healthier, but a small amount of butter or oil helps distribute heat evenly and prevents sticking. It also improves flavor, which means you're less likely to drown your eggs in salt or sauces later. Now let's look at boiled eggs, because the mistake shows up there too. Boiling eggs aggressively can cause rubbery whites and chalky yolks. A rolling boil shakes the egg inside the shell, making uneven textures. Gentler simmering gives you tender whites and creamy yolks instead. Peeling boiled eggs is another frustration point. Fresh eggs are harder to peel, and people think they're doing something wrong. In reality, slightly older eggs peel better because the membrane loosens over time. A simple ice bath after cooking also helps separate the shell from the egg. Fried eggs have their own common mistake: too much heat and too much oil. High heat creates crispy edges quickly, but it also overcooks the whites before the yolk warms up. Lower heat gives you whites that set gently while keeping the yolk just how you like it. Omelets often fail because people add fillings too early or overload them. Heavy fillings release moisture, which can tear the egg before it sets. Cooking the egg first, then adding fillings keeps everything together and improves texture. Eggs aren't just about cooking either. Storage matters. Leaving eggs out too long or storing them near strong-smelling foods affects freshness and flavor. Eggs absorb odors easily, which is why they should stay in their carton in the fridge. Now here's something most people don't realize. Overcooked eggs don't just taste worse, they can be harder to digest for some people. The proteins become tighter and more difficult for your body to break down. That can lead to bloating or discomfort, especially if you eat eggs often. Egg yolks also deserve attention. Many people fear yolks because of old cholesterol myths, but yolks contain vitamins, healthy fats, and nutrients like choline that support brain health. Overcooking yolks reduces their flavor and texture, making people dislike the best part of the egg. Another mistake is cracking eggs directly into the pan. This leads to uneven cooking because the white hits heat before the yolk. Cracking eggs into a bowl first lets you mix gently and check for shells. It also gives you more control. Microwaving eggs is another danger zone. Eggs cook extremely fast in the microwave, and uneven heating can cause rubbery textures or even explosions. If you microwave eggs, low power and short intervals are key. Even egg substitutes and egg whites get overcooked easily. Without fat from the yolk, they dry out faster. That's why egg white omelets often taste tough. Lower heat and a little oil help balance this out. Eggs also pair better with certain foods when cooked properly. Soft eggs digest better with vegetables, whole grains, and healthy fats. Overcooked eggs paired with heavy foods can feel uncomfortable afterward. So by now, you might be wondering, what exactly is the big mistake tying all this together? Here it is. The most common egg mistake is cooking them on heat that's too high for too long. That's it. Not fancy tools, not expensive eggs, just too much heat and not enough patience. When you slow down the heat, everything changes. Scrambled eggs become creamy, fried eggs turn tender, boiled eggs get smooth whites and rich yolks. The flavor improves, the texture improves, and your body handles them better too. Restaurants know this secret, chefs know this secret, but home cooks rush and eggs suffer for it. Once you lower the heat and trust the process, eggs become one of the best foods you can make at home. So let's wrap this up. Eggs aren't hard to cook, but they demand respect. Lower heat, better timing, gentle movement, and proper seasoning make all the difference. Stop rushing them and they'll reward you every time. Next time you cook eggs, slow it down. Pay attention to texture. Take them off the heat early and let them finish naturally. Your breakfast will taste better and your body will thank you. If this helps you rethink how you cook eggs, hit that like button and subscribe for more simple health and food tips that actually work. Drop a comment and tell me, how do you usually cook your eggs and what's the biggest problem you've had with them? Let's talk about it.